hesitate to get a piece of mind. It's suicide if you try to touch a piece of mind. She might ride or die with you if your word official. Check my credentials, the etiquette is so influential. Now let that game soak in. Your bone brittle. Kings, queens, and pawns. This shit is all mental. Hey, fuck the time clock. I got better potential. I'm thinking ownership, enterprise, no rental.
Yeah. VO. Shit be changing like the weather, so I keep my umbrella. It's so easy speaking freely, shit you niggas scared to tell them. Hella disappointments ain't get bitter, just got better. Fuck a mind first and you can get a pussy wetter. Way I represent my fly, you can tell them about my feta. Looking like a tribe leader, fur collar on my leather. Keep applying pressure, I might ruffle niggas' feathers. From the stress of being jealous, you might bust a blood vessel. And I'm shooting for the stars, my telescope is focused. Hand dog and a cigar to celebrate the special moments. A lot of fakes and phonies, if you're real, that's a bonus. Got a few partners, but content with being a loner. My working got colder, my moves a little bolder. My spiritual foundation it grew stronger, and I know what you gon' come with, just by who you run with. So don't be acting slow, bitch, can't comprehend no dumb shit. These niggas make me sick, I'm feeling like I'm nauseous. Cripples, all they ever was good for was talking. The more I learn from my losses, the more I'm cautious. It's often more crabs in my city than Boston. Dick riding out of bounds, they switching and crossing. Fuck your politics, I ain't running for office. Way out my comfort zone and they still stalling. Slow grind made strides even when I'm crawling. All they come with is complaints, I come with solutions. Broken and useless, all they got is excuses. Feast with the winners, don't fuck with no losers. Only way suckers hang is if they dangle from nooses. I don't discriminate as long as they choosing. Like my bitches different flavors like them quarter juices. I've been a shit, you ain't smell the sewage. And if they sleep, don't wake them up, leave them niggas snooze. If I touch it, I'ma crush it, I'ma lace that. Bullshit be coming my way, then I'ma face that. Missed it the first time to catch it on a playback. To find another me, that's a needle in a haystack. If I touch it, I'ma crush it, I'ma lace that. Bullshit be coming my way, then I'ma face that. Missed it the first time to catch it on a playback. To find another me, that's a needle in a haystack.
Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack.
Welcome, guys. Your host, T.O.P. And on tonight's episode, I'm joined by my OG. So that means if you fuck with me, you gotta go fuck with him too. And OG means original gentleman, not you ostentatious goofballs. So welcome to the show. Glad you made it, because you could be anywhere tonight, but you're here with us. My guess is OG Rick Torres. Some of you guys may be familiar with him. If you're not, you can go check him out on Instagram. And if there's any other social media you would like to plug, could you do so at this time, OG Rick?
Yeah, I have just the Instagram right now. It's the Rick Torres 550 on Instagram. You guys can hit me up there if you want to chop it up. Any advice you'd like to get, I'm good right there.
Indeed, indeed. Now, a lot of you guys may or may not be familiar with OG Rick. I'm familiar with OG Rick. We've been kicking it for a long time, since like 2019.
Yeah.
And folks may think that you are a stranger to the Top Cast, but if they care to go back to listen to the Top Cast season 1 on Anchor, they will know that you are a familiar guest of my show. Once again, I would like to thank you for coming today. And the purpose of this show this evening is to offer younger guys, because I'm 45 and I know that you are older than me, but the purpose of this show is to offer these younger guys advice as older men, because what I have come to notice, and I don't recall myself being like this when I was growing up, even though I did see some young guys then acting like that. But a lot of young guys have the erroneous tendency to believe that older people are washed up, has-beens, used to be's, toothless lions who don't know nothing,
Yeah.
without taking the time, to employ a little bit of logic and say to themselves, old people, they can't get old by being stupid. And
That's
so,
right.
as older people, young people should learn to appreciate older folks more and use them as a resource. Because while experience is the best teacher, the beginning of wisdom is to learn from others' experience, and you can only get experience greater than yours from somebody who has more experience than you. And I don't care how much you may know from Google at 24, you'll never have more experience, life experience, than somebody twice your age. So, OG Rick, one of the first things I would like to cover is when you was coming up, because again, I'm 45 years old, and
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, you got to be at least 10 years older than me.
Yes, I am. I'm 55.
So 55. So
Yeah.
that's 10 years older than me. So when you was coming up, were the younger folks as disrespectful towards older folks as we see so commonly today?
Yeah.
And what about yourself?
Yeah, I think they did have some, but it wasn't a lot. It was
Mhm,
more they were more respectful, because back in the day you would get a quick smack to the head if you didn't pay attention, and
mhm,
there was no rationalizing. It was usually just like you take the hit and you learn from that, you rationalize it on yourself. Um, as far as myself, I liked being with an older crowd because I knew that I could learn a lot from them. Also felt more comfortable with them because there
mhm,
was a lot to learn, and I didn't mind learning. Um,
mhm,
Coming from, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
mhm.
So
Brooklyn.
yeah. So coming up through the streets, similar to the one behind me,
Mhm,
uh, you know, um, it was rough because where I came up, I was there was like gangs every 10 blocks, and you had to have your head on a swivel. You had to
mhm,
really know where you were going, and it
mhm,
teaches you a lot of things right away.
mhm,
Areas to go, areas not to go, things to do and not to do. The counting of the money in the street, wearing flashy jewelry.
mhm,
You're looking to be a monk, so
mhm,
um, you learn pretty quick. And if you didn't learn, you were a statistic. So you had to really be on point.
mhm,
Um, but it was a very rich experience as far as learning
mhm,
and being able to be socially aware. You have to have social intelligence when you're in areas. You can't walk around like nowadays. You see people that got their heads in the phone. They really don't pay
mhm.
attention, especially the young guys.
Oh yeah.
Um, and that you lose out on a lot. You want to be aware. Like I took my sons down to the city, and I showed them 42nd Street. And back when
Mhm.
I was coming up, 42nd Street was not Disney like it is now. It
Yeah,
was
it's totally sanitized now.
yeah,
The old 42nd Street would red pill a lot of these young men
exactly.
in one afternoon.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar. Again, even though we 10 years apart, I did have the privilege of having that experience growing up because I'm from North. New Jersey, right across the river. You know, it's nothing but a train ride. You know what I'm saying, to go anywhere in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanna remark that I too, I guess in my mind, I always chalk it up to it being that maybe it's because we was raised in a time before the internet and before cell phones, you know, where people would just socialize different, you know,
Right.
where we were taught to respect our elders, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
if our elders got out of line, then instead of us as children, you know, trying to take on the role of an adult, and interact with an adult as if we were an adult, you know, we were advised to go get another adult, which I think is sound advice. But
Right.
nowadays, what I see is I see a lot of the youth, you know, they look at older folks as if older folks have nothing to contribute to them, or as if older folks are, like I said earlier, like a has been, you
Right.
know, and
Like things have passed them by, you know.
exactly.
You
But
gotta.
me myself, my experience parallels yours,
Mm-hmm.
in that, growing up, I've always patronized older people more so than my own age group.
Exactly.
And while that does have its downside, it also has its upside.
Mm-hmm.
And the upside is you get to learn a lot or gain a lot of knowledge from a lot of life experience
Mm-hmm. It's,
over your contemporaries.
it says a lot about our character too, that we were able to be around older people and they accept us, and we're
Uh-huh.
able to want to pass down knowledge. And I think guys who may think that because we're older, things have passed us by, remember, you guys are going to be there one day.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're not going to want to say, shit, I don't know nothing. You know, your experiences and all the things that you go through, the circle of people you surround yourself with, those are all learning experiences. I think people pass through your life for a reason. And I think that, you know, you should take everything you can from every little thing and add it to your resume, add it to your like gun belt, so to speak. So you have those experiences, and you're able to, when you get in a situation, you can refer back to that and be able to navigate through anything that's, you know, coming up, anything tough, you know, and you're able to, that's why I really love teaching my sons, their teens, older teens, and I like passing everything down to them. I want them to be thinking in a situation where if they're anywhere that they say, you know, how would dad handle this, you know, and it keeps them focused.
You know, actually, that's a perfect segue into another topic, and that is, I understand that at one point in time you were married and that
Mhm.
you have two sons, and now that you're no longer married, which makes you a single dad.
Mhm.
And what you were just mentioning, you know, and I've also made a remark about it, that it's just my personal opinion that as men, generally speaking, it's
Mhm.
our responsibility to ensure that the men that come behind us, you know what I'm saying, have what they need so that their life is not as difficult as ours.
Mhm.
And I think I hear a lot of younger guys, you know, voice that sentiment that, oh, the older people failed us. But at the same time, young people also don't like to listen to older people
That's
because they
true.
think they know better.
Yeah,
But
that's
could you speak on how important, you know, or speak further on how important you think it is to, as a man, to pass down manhood lessons to younger males, and in particular your own progeny?
yeah, no, I think it's really important. I think that any father who's not involved with their sons or their daughters, but um, I think as men we want our sons to reflect us in every way. We want them to have all our abilities, and I love teaching them. I love putting them on point so that when they are anywhere, that they're able to handle themselves so that they're not panicking. Because a lot of guys who are not had the fortunate thing to have their father around teaching them things, they kind of learned the hard way. And what I want is to download all the information I have into my sons so that they're able to handle themselves. Right away, you know, when they were 5 years old, I put them into martial arts, and I said to myself, regardless of what they confront in the future, I want them to be able to handle themselves, be able to go through any situation and not have the fear of, man, I don't know how to protect myself, because that's a helpless feeling for anyone. So I think if you can give them all the tools that you can give them so that they can maneuver, especially now this world has changed so much between viruses and politics and law enforcement and all this, like you're hit with so much stuff. The only thing that I really want is for them to be able to navigate through this world without having harm come to them. You can't really protect them all the time, but you want them to be able to think on their feet so they're not in a bad situation and they're like, oh shit, what do I do? I think every father or every man should, you know, pass on whatever they know to their sons. It's really important. I think it's for me. I don't see any other way.
Yeah, I agree with you, and especially and emphatically in cases of father to son, and I even extend that further, generally speaking. You know, as older males to as older men to younger males.
Right.
You know, because you know, like I know, in this world, for the most part, us as men, nobody really gives a shit about us individually. You know, and so it's up to us as men to look out for other men. And I believe in that. I try my best to embody and practice that, and I advocate that other guys do the same, especially if you're an older guy. You know, find a young man to mentor.
Right.
You know, that should be one of the codes that every man on this planet adopts. Mentor a young man.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because that's going to help solve the problem, in my opinion. But of course, I could be wrong, and I'm willing to concede that. Moving right along. This is before I continue, I just want to say, because it temporarily slipped my mind, but go holler at my man Vonnie EC. That's who you heard on the intro track. The shit is fire. And if you are an unsigned artist and you have music that you think is people would want to hear, hit T.O.P up. I don't mind playing your joint. I'll give you some play because I'm here to help you win any way I can. And you don't owe me nothing.
Right. And that's part of it, passing it forward, you know?
Exactly. Hold on one second. Got to get some of that old people juice.
I got mine ready.
and now for the bonus round, the AARP side of the game. As an older guy, you know, even though we 10 years apart, I say we pretty much in the same same age range, just about. What's your take on relationships? You know, whether it's from a single man dynamic, you know, actually being in a committed relationship, up to being in a marriage. What's your take on relationships in 2021 as compared to when you were, let's say, 18 years old?
It's changed a whole lot. You know, women nowadays are more like what guys were back when we were running the streets. You know, we had a high body count and we weren't afraid to just go out there and meet as many women as we wanted to. I think the roles have been not reversed. I can't say the roles, but I'm saying women have that attitude now where they want to do almost everything guys do, you know, and being able to date openly and do all these things that back in the day were frowned upon. It's almost like empowered to for lack of a better word, to be more hoish.
Hey man, this is an adult show, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, when I was coming up, dated a lot. You know, it got to a point where I couldn't even date in my own neighborhood because I was getting well known. So I had to start branching out.
I know that's right, man.
But I think I think that the women nowadays, if you want to be in a relationship, I think it's the best thing to do is just to vet them as long as possible. Vet them as long as possible, because if you want a relationship, which there are going to be some guys, of course, that are younger than us that want to go through that experience. I think you got to be smart about it. Because they're playing games back like we used to play games, and I don't know if it's a good idea. Relationships, and as far as marriage, I don't think it benefits a man in any way right now. The laws and the court system is slanted more towards women. And I think women nowadays know that, and they use it to their advantage to control a guy.
Yeah, because bitches are abusive.
Yeah,
by nature. Yeah. Shout out, rest in peace to the ghost Saint Patrice O'Neal.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I just wanna interrupt here for a second to address this comment by Mr. EC Smooth. Said no smartphone or internet, just pay phones. Had to get it done.
Right.
Yes, indeed. You better believe. I've been around since the end of the rotary phone era. So at the beginning of this, I was born around the beginning of the touch tone phones. So I've been around for a long time. If you think I'm a dinosaur, then OG Rick is Darwin Jr. because
listen, I'm surprised I'm still walking. 8-track tape.
It's a blessing, young fellas, for you to make it to be 45 or 55. So don't ever be so arrogant to think that, old people ain't got it going on. Because trust me, I'm going to tell you, you can't get to be old by being young and stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, OG Rick. My apologies.
Yeah, I think guys really just learn from people that you respect, people that you see doing the right thing, learn as much as you can. You want to have an advantage. As far as, like I said, with the marriage and relationships, really, really vet, because a lot of times you'll be involved with someone and not know who they are until maybe 2 years down the road. And I think it's very important, because the way things are nowadays, you don't have the time for nonsense. I'm at a point in my life where any kind of stress, any kind of nonsense, they won't see me again. So it's empowering, because here's the deal. You get to control who's in your circle and who's not, who you spend time with and who you don't, and I have the luxury of that, because I've had, long relationships and came out of a marriage, and I'm back to being a single man, and I love it. I love being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And
I'm a single man too, but I gotta admit, Every chick I fuck with is my girlfriend. Hey, I'm gonna give y'all fellas some game. I'm gonna give you fellas some game.
Mhm.
Cause see, a lot of you guys don't have a mouthpiece. And I'm gonna sum it up in just a quotable, and then I'm gonna explain to you how it works. My people always told me, I got it from my mother and my aunt, and I heard it from my father first. It ain't what you do, it's how you do what you do. That's a lesson from an old motherfucker to you young motherfuckers. And what I do with women is I explain to women that technically speaking, just us having an interaction by definition is a relationship. But as the man, I'm going to define how that relationship transpires. And if you think that you get ready to run things here, you have another thing coming.
Right. Right.
But notice, I never said that she was my girlfriend. I never said that we was going to be exclusive.
Right.
Or any of those things. So for you young guys who want to learn something in the way of having a quote unquote mouthpiece, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not the words you use, it's how you put them together. Kind of think of it like if you was laying bricks and building a wall. You know, you have to build it a certain way, or else it's not going to work how it's supposed to.
Yeah, I think guys too are apprehensive with conversations or approaching a woman, not knowing what to say. Look, I think every day is an opportunity. Going to the store, going to work, going to shopping, whatever. Use the opportunity to whoever you run across to kind of be able to strike up a conversation. Don't be afraid. The worst that can happen, which I've told my sons, the worst that can happen is they're not interested and no thank you, and they walk away. And hey, listen, the only way you're gonna get good at being able to be comfortable around women and be able to grab their attention is to be able to talk to them and not hesitate. What should think about it? What would you be scared of?
Here's two other things that you could do that will assist you in this endeavor. One is learn how to talk to people. You see what me and Rick is here doing right now? This is the exact same thing that you would do with a woman.
Exactly.
And the second thing is probably even more important is that you guys have to be real with yourself. This is why I say to you guys, you have to stop asking or expecting other people to respect you and learn how to respect yourself. And I call it self-respect. And you can only do that by telling yourself the truth. And if I swear it flies, I know it flies way the fuck over y'all head, because if you really understood what I'm saying in just those few words, then you really wouldn't need to patronize a lot of these dating advice guys to help you with your issues.
Right.
Because the issues that you have are not with women, they are internal issues. The problem that you have talking with women ain't got to do nothing with the woman. It's got to do with you the fact that you can't go over there and talk to her. So then you need to work on who?
Yourself.
You.
Exactly.
Salute, James Brown. Appreciate you for coming. Yeah, handle your business and make that money, man. And guys, I'm not here to haggle you like a preacher, but the collection plate is invisible, but it is going around. Don't hesitate to bless the Cash App or the PayPal. I appreciate anything that you could donate.
Exactly.
To moving along, as a man, how important would you say that it is to set goals and also, how important is it as a man to, because we grew up in a time where your word was your bond. So
Mm-hmm.
how important as a man is it to keep your word in regards to your obligations?
It's very important.
And
You know,
especially because you're a father.
exactly. Is very important. You need to work hard, set a goal. It doesn't have to be a very lofty goal.
Hmm.
You should have things that you want to achieve. What I like to do is have a list of things that I need to take care of.
Hmm.
It may be 10. I may
Hmm.
not get all 10, but I
Hmm.
get 6, 7, and that is a successful goal for yourself where you can say, well, I got a majority of the things that I needed done. I think that applies to everything, work, social life, you know, uh, taking care of yourself as far as, working out or having a passion or a hobby. Um,
Hmm.
it's really important. You need to be a well-rounded man.
Hmm.
Um, I think, women are a good part of your life, but it shouldn't be the only thing.
Hmm.
You need to build yourself and have these things in mind that you want to do down the line, something to shoot for, because there's a lot of guys that will live life day to day and not really have a plan. Um, you're looking to hurt yourself down the line because time is passing. Time
Hmm.
is passing, and before you know it, you're an older man, and you need to know, hey, how am I gonna continue to do these things? I mean, Top and I mean, we're older guys, and we're still in the game. We're still doing things. We're still successful with women, with our careers. Anything that we put our heads to,
Hmm.
we're gonna. It may not happen overnight, but it's knowing that you got to work towards this to get to where you want to be, and it's really really important to have these goals, set goals, and you know um um I think it's something that gets missed,
Hmm.
because people are so busy with, like, 2021, we're dealing with pandemic, we're dealing with society, lack of work, there's just so many things going on that you kind of get lost in the mix, and you
Hmm.
need to continue pushing forward. It's important, man, as men, because look, women stick together no matter what. A
Oh yeah,
woman,
they move like the fucking mafia. These
they
dudes
they
just really don't
exactly,
fucking understand.
they
Uh,
listen.
I tell them all the time, Rick, man. Most of these guys that you hear talk about women, they don't really know nothing about women,
uh
because women literally they operate like the mafia.
yeah.
And if
Yep.
you really knew, it'll blow your fucking mind.
Yeah, you gotta know, women, their strength is being able to communicate with each other, pass
Hmm.
things on. They'll hear things, they'll pass it on, and they stick together. Guys, we need to do that as men. We need to
Hmm.
stick together, help each other out, and this is one of the reasons why Top and I are really looking to help guys.
Hmm.
Whatever information we can pass on,
Hmm.
because we didn't get here, by luck. We
Yeah,
got we.
exactly. Again, old people don't get to be old by being stupid.
Mhm.
So, as young people, I'm saying to you, as an older gentleman, don't ever be so arrogant to think that, an old person doesn't have value. Because
Mhm.
again, they didn't get to be where they are without having to take all the steps that they took to get there.
Mhm.
And this also segues into my next point, and that is confidence. So I've noticed that a lot of guys, mostly on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure that that's going to eventually at some point translate into YouTube, to the same degree,
Mhm.
express to me that I come off as a very confident individual.
Mhm.
What is your advice for younger guys in regards to gaining and also maintaining confidence, because I notice a lot of young guys, they don't have the confidence to even have a conversation with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know that problem, as I mentioned earlier, the problem I see guys having with women, I know they got that same problem elsewhere in their life.
Right. To gain confidence, guys, there's a quote that says it best. The ability to do comes of doing. So in order for you to get confident in these things, whether it's, like I said, women, um, any kind of sports or whatever you are passionate for, you're never going to learn it overnight. You have to go through these experiences, build it up, get better. You don't, baseball players, they don't go up to the plate and hit home runs. It takes time. Just that's the way guys should approach, learning, saying, look, it's going to take some time, but the more, depending on the person too, how badly do you want it? If you want it bad enough, you're going to try more. How it gets to a point where you say to yourself, I'm tired of being in this spot. How do I get to be better? And it just takes more practice, more applying yourself. And by the time you're our age, you should have some stripes on your arm, knowing that you've come a long way. And you know what? Listen, that ability of being confident, people can see that. They can see it in you.
They can smell it through the internet.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you're not confident in anything, whether you're going for a raise at work, whether you're going to approach someone, a woman, you're going to approach her, you want to talk. If you're timid or hesitant, you're hurting yourself. You need to be confident in knowing, like, look, you know what? If it doesn't work out, you keep it moving. You never lose.
You only learn.
You either win or you learn. And that's exactly a win-win.
Exactly. I would say in regards to that, and I will harken back to what I was saying earlier, is guys have to be honest with themselves first. You understand what I'm saying? Why is it that you want what it is that you say that you want? And are you willing to do what it's going to take in order to accomplish that? And then I would also like to further remark by saying that I noticed that in 2021, or with this millennial, whatever the fuck zennial generation we in now, they are the quote unquote microwave generation. They come out on YouTube today and they expect to be a superstar in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that to say that one of the mechanisms of gaining confidence is small victories or baby steps.
Exactly.
So that speaks to what OG Rick was saying. It takes time. You're not going to go in the gym as a 120-pound, 5'8" dude, and in 6 months be Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not going to happen. Yeah. That takes time, which means you have to have dedication. You have to follow a routine.
Right.
You have to be consistent.
Right.
Those are some of the key aspects to, or the key parts of the mechanism to developing your confidence.
Yeah, exactly right.
I think a lot of guys, they say, I want to do something, and all they really have is intent. And to me, that harkens of femininity. To be perfectly honest, no shade. Salute to the homie Ebo Sosa.
Yes.
Welcome. Glad that you could join us for the show. You did miss the first half of class, sir. Make sure you catch the replay. Let me get another sip of a Joe, the real Joe.
Yeah.
I got sleepy, so.
Yeah, let me drink my Joe too.
Yeah, that Joe right there keep you up in the morning. Moving along, I wanna moonwalk a little bit here. You know what I'm saying? And speak about a little bit more about marriage and fatherhood because I personally do not have any children,
Mm-hmm.
but I still see the importance and the value of fathers exchanging information.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I've never been married, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, so I can't really speak to that from direct experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would just say that again, it's not what you do, it's how you do what you do as a man, if that's what you choose to do.
Right.
But I do know that you are uniquely qualified to speak on those two subjects, OG Rick. And if you will bless the crowd with
Yeah.
with some gems, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. First, touching on marriage, you got to know you got to compromise some of the things you want in order for things to work. It's not always going to be. You're not always going to pick the person that has all the same likes that you have. It's a working relationship. I think if you're smart, you find somebody that has similar qualities or at least a couple of things that you have in common. You can't be total opposites. That opposites attract doesn't work in relationships. Relationships, guys, not dating, not smashing, not, one night stands. I'm talking about relationships. Somebody that you want to turn around and know that she's got your back. I think you want to, if you're going to be in a marriage, you want somebody who's ride or die. That's the bottom line, because it sucks to be in a relationship thinking that you do have that and find out that you don't, because it's a rough way to go. And then if you have children, it's even harder because you can't just up and leave. You want to be able to be there for your children, and you want to be able to teach them all you can and educate them. Teach them everything, man, from the street to fighting to sports to how to read a room to certain situations. You go into a neighborhood that doesn't look that looks shady. You're able to give them that info so that, God forbid, you're not with them and they come across something difficult, that they're able to think and say, okay, this is the safest way to get through this. And if I have to do something where I have to involve myself to protect myself, they have that. You want to be able to pass that on. Listen, man, they're carrying your name. You're having children, man. They're carrying the name. They're going to carry your line after you're gone, And my sons, to me, they're everything. And I think that a lot of guys are not, or a lot of people that are coming up don't have that. My sons can know at any time that I'm there for them. And that's what you want. As a son, you want a father who's going to be there for you. And as a father, you want to be able to be there for them and give them everything you can so that they're at an advantage over people that don't have it. Because the last thing you want to do is, live your life, not help them out, and they go through the worst things that you could ever think of. It's heartbreaking. But I think also spending quality time with your kids, quality time, because they're going to remember that. Kids they absorb everything. When you don't think they're watching you, they're watching you. My sons, they pick up my personality and the way I interact with people, right? When they see me, I see them acting the way I act with their friends. So that it carries. They pick it from you. They see it, And I think it's an important thing to be involved with your kids, man. Be involved with them. And it's not a bad thing, man. It's something you want them to have every advantage, you know? But yeah, and I think if you're gonna if you're a person who's looking to be married, I think especially nowadays, you know, there's a high divorce rate. It's probably one of the toughest things a man will ever go through. You don't get a manual on how to deal with court, lawyers, you know, paperwork. You can't just go into something that is a divorce and expect to pay an attorney and have him handle everything. You have to be part of your own rescue. You have to be involved. You have to do legwork, because believe it or not, while you're paying this attorney, he's charging you every minute. So the more that you can do to help yourself, the better off you're going to be. That's on the negative side of marriage. I'm sure there's good women out there that would be very good at the marriage thing. But that all comes back to vetting. You definitely have to know the person. You have to know if they come from a family that has a long-standing marriage where the mother and father are still together. They don't have to be loving, but they at least work together. I think it's a very important thing.
Yeah, as I said, I've never been married before. You know, I don't see where there's any benefit, legally speaking, anyway, considering what I've seen happen to other men. And I've even made a remark, you know, even though guys beat their chest and say, oh, well, you know, that broad, she ain't gonna do nothing to me. But the simple fact that you married her legally, you automatically put yourself in a losing position, because as a man, it's you against her and the entire legal system.
Exactly.
And you're not going to win. And
exactly.
at the minimum, it's just you're going to just lose money. At the maximum, you know, you guys have heard the stories of guys committing fucking suicide. So I say that to not set yourself up. And it starts with being honest with yourself, fellas.
Right.
That's very, very important.
Very important.
The what I want to get into next is OG Rick. Is I want to go through the years, because again, you're 55 and I'm 45. So this is the lightning round. We're gonna start with the 20s.
Yeah.
What is your advice to young men ages 20 to 29?
I think find the career that you want. Find something, because in your 20s you need to build. You need to go find that thing that's going to keep you financially secure down the line. And don't be afraid to fail. You know, if you fail, or you start off wanting to do one thing and it doesn't work out, you could branch into something else. Like, let's say, for example, you are into music. You want to be into music. If there's so many avenues you can do. You can produce, you can be an engineer. You know, you may want it to start off being a rock star, you know, and it doesn't work out. But there are other things you could branch off and still be in the thing that you're passionate about, you know. So I think it's important to find that thing that you're going to be able to make money with and enjoy. And I think also, as far as dating, date in your 20s. Get to know as many women as possible. You want to be able to, again, going back to the baseball analogy, you don't get up to the plate and hit home runs, right? If you're going to marry someone, it stands to reason that the more women that you date when you're younger, you're going to have that knowledge. So when you do meet someone that is in your, let's say, in your range, you're going to be able to see them and you're going to be able to know the value of this person, and you're not going to pass them by. I think it's important, man. Everybody looks for that special someone when it comes to marriage. They look for that special someone, the one they're gonna always be uh, longing to come home to. You need to vet and know the woman you're gonna be with. Salute Alpha Villains. It's good to see you here. But as far as being able to be in a marriage that's successful, it's work. It's not going to be easy, and that's if you want to be married. I don't want any part of it. I've had my fill. Thank you.
I know that's right.
So I think, especially nowadays, I mean, you never know who you're going to get. Also, and that goes back to vetting. If you vet the person well, don't always give everything up in the first day. What you like, what you do, what you want to do. I mean, you got to trust the person that you're interacting with is going to use this information that you're giving to them in a good way, not to take advantage of you. You don't want to be that guy down the line who's been taken advantage of because you gave her all the answers. So you need to really be cautious. And again, this all comes from experience. If you're a person who's been dating and you know your way around women and you're not bashful and you can speak to them, and you also got to have the mindset too that, hey, if you're not going to be online with me next, don't fall in love with every girl and go through 3-year relationships.
Yeah, man. Don't get your heart broken and come to YouTube and turn to a dating coach. Anyway, salute to the homie Alpha Villains. Appreciate you coming through, homie. My advice to guys 20 to 29 is, similar to what OG Rick had to say. I've only been in one long-term relationship in my entire life. 99% of the women that I've dealt with in my life have been short-term, and that's by design. But my advice is, figure out what it is that you like to do, preferably what you like to do, what you really enjoy doing, and try to make some money at it.
Right.
Otherwise, find you another career that you deem acceptable and begin, or rather use at least those 9 years of your life to put yourself in position for when you get 30, because you got 9 more years coming.
Exactly.
So this is how you guys are going to go from being young, dumb, and full of cum to old wise men like me and OG Rick.
Yeah.
And then some young motherfucker gonna come and tell you too old one day.
Yeah.
And you'll be having the same conversation with one of your OGs on YouTube.
Exactly.
But moving along, Rick, let's go on to the next age group, which would be in your 30s, from the age of 30 to 39.
Yeah, I think again, going back to picking that career and the thing that you want to do, you should have it where you're at least confident and working hard on being the best at that particular career that you pick. I say that if you don't have something that you really, really want to do, I think learning a trade, getting into a trade, because those are the things that are going to always have a need. Plumbers, electricians, carpenters, welders. Learn this stuff, because even if, let's say, for example, you wanted to be a musician, you can learn a trade, make good money with that, and go to pay for school for whatever else you want to do. I think that's one of the things that is almost like a cheat code, because those skills, the trades, are very important. Very important. They're always going to be needed. There's always going to be a building that needs to be put up. There's always going to be buildings that need people to do the plumbing, the electrical, carpentry. They're always going to need them. You're always going to have that opportunity to get work. And in times like this, you need to be able to keep making that income.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And just so that you guys understand, what we're outlining here is ideal, because it's not going to happen exactly how anybody ever envisions it. But if you took the advice that we gave you from the ages of 20 to 29, it's going to set you up for 30 through 39.
Exactly.
And between the ages of 30 to 39, if you have taken the correct steps in your 20s, then you could coast right through your 30s, because you've already set your life up. You're already worked into your career. At this point, you got at least 8 or 9 years, or at least a handful of years into your career. You understand what I'm saying? You should have saved up some money, and you'll be setting yourself up in your 30s for your 40s, which is the next age bracket that we're going to move into. My age bracket.
Exactly.
What would you advise for guys in their 40s, being that you've experienced your entire 40s?
Yeah, I think investing, and also being able to you let's say through your 30s, you're in the career you want, you've excelled at it. By your 40s, you should be very proficient in what you're doing, so that when you're in your 40s, you're like cruising, man. You're cruising, so that when you get into your 50s, you don't have concern, because you've built a great foundation along the way. And I think your 40s, you should be able to enjoy yourself. You're a little more established. You have the finances put away, or you have them where you can always access them. You're not worried about, if I run short, because in your 40s, you should have investments. You should have money put away. And also, you're gonna keep pushing. You're not just gonna give up when you get to 40. You don't stop living at 40. So I think those are things you need to concentrate on as far as that. Just you're sharpening your skills in 20s and 30s, so that when you get to your 40s, you're enjoying it. It comes easy. It comes easy because you've had 20s and 30s to really get good at it. And going back to the baseball thing, you're hitting home runs in 40s. You can spot that pitch and you can hit it out.
Indeed, I agree 100%. And I would also like to say, as a perk, you get to be an OG hit when you hit your 40s, like T.O.P. But
Exactly.
I agree with what you're saying, Rick. By the time you get into your 40s, you should have already taken all the bumps and bruises that life is going to throw at you in your 20s and your 30s to be sharp enough to slide on through your 40s and prepare yourself for retirement, because that's what's going to come after you've been alive for a half a century. Let me tell you something. Fine wine does age finely, but it does age. So, from your 20s up to your 40s, you want to set yourself up to be as comfortable as you possibly can be.
Exactly.
And what me and OG Rick are here for, and other older guys like that, is to assist you guys so that you don't have to take all of the bumps and bruises that you will, especially since a lot of you guys don't have male figures to give you this advice. And you know damn well that women ain't going to tell you because it's not in their interest to do so.
No.
And I also want to say that, like I mentioned previously, you know, this is not set in stone. It's ideal because we do take bumps and bruises in our life. You know, you could take 5 steps forward and just as easily take 10 backwards. But
Exactly.
the point or the idea you should always keep in your mind is that you always have to be trying to progress or be the best version of yourself, which is
Always.
Ironically something that we don't hear on YouTube much anymore nowadays. You know, I'm even more convinced that for most guys it was just a fad. But moving along, I haven't reached this status yet because if they call me OG, you know what I'm saying, and I call you OG, then you got to be, logically speaking, at least a double OG. So for those original gentlemen out there from ages 50 to 55, what advice could you offer those guys? And after those comments, if you could offer, you know, your summary,
absolutely,
overall, then I appreciate that.
Absolutely, guys. I want to tell you something as far as being in the 50s, right? Never give up. Remember that you can always improve. You can always come back. You know, I'm a product of, or I've come through a divorce. I've landed on my feet. It's not an easy journey, but I think that if you stick to it, it's all in front of you. I'm a happier man being by myself, and there's always opportunity. Every day there's an opportunity to learn, to better yourself, and I think looking at the whatever weaknesses you have inside of you, you know. Take time to build upon strengthening those weaknesses so that you become a well-rounded man. Listen, the bottom line is this, and we didn't talk about women through this whole 20, 30, 40. I'm talking about career and bettering yourself. Women are always going to be around. You're going to always be able to meet a woman or interact with them. I think the bottom line is you're going to always you're the one who's going to take care of you, right? So if you come through a hardship and you come through it and you keep working, you have yourself, man. You don't need to rely on anybody. Stay strong, be strong. Nobody's going to hand nothing to you. It's not going to be easy. You got to encircle yourself with the right people. For me, I'm a positive person. If you're not a positive person in my circle, you're not in my circle. You know, if you're looking to get over, you're not in my circle. I like being with people that have things going on, that look positively to the future. Don't look for excuses why you can't do it. Look for the reasons why it will work. Work towards that. You only have yourself. No one's gonna come rescue you. You're gonna have to do it yourself. But look at 55. I'm still out there, man. I'm still in the game. I'm not depressed. I don't have problems financially. It can happen for everybody. Stay positive, work towards it, and remember, you're your own best friend. It's too easy to pick on yourself. It's too easy to have that, oh man, you messed up, you're this, you're that. The one thing you can't be is be your own bully, right? Because you can't get away from yourself. You can't escape yourself. If you're a bully to yourself, you're in trouble. you should be, take care of yourself, self-love, there's always a good thing coming ahead. For me, when a door closes, it's because God has a better door for you. And not to get hokey religious or anything, but that, to me, that's what helps me. I like looking at things that way. There's a purpose. There's a reason why. It's almost like with people that come into your life, people that you come across, people that you make good connections with, that is a way of a blessing. And people that you click with, people that give you good ideas, people that support you. Surround yourself with those. There's too many negative people in the world. Surround yourself with those people, man, because you know what? That's what keeps you going, and you want to have a strong tribe. Everybody looks to have their own tribe, to have their own boys, a crew, you want to have that. You want to have people that you can rely on. And that's the friendships, man, coming up. I have friends for over 30 years. I got friends that I could call right now if I need something. And that's what you need to establish as men, because you know what? Women do it.
No, I've said before, and to guys, and if I ain't mistaken, I believe I was on Happy Kingdom's panel, that guys have to learn to do a lot of the things that women do. Not act like a woman, but a lot of the things that women do are very pragmatic.
Right.
And I think that guys would help themselves by emulating some of those behaviors, and they'll have less problems, particularly with women. But my closing thoughts is that I would advise you guys, especially you younger guys in your 20s and your 30s, is to find somebody that you trust, another man. And particularly if you didn't grow up with a father, or you don't have any male relative that you could reach out to, and allow that man to be your mentor, but make sure that you vet him just like you would vet anybody else.
Exactly.
To make sure that he's a righteous individual. And get what you can from older people. Because like I said earlier, even though I said it kind of jokingly, older people didn't get to be old because we're stupid. We learned a lot in this life. And no matter how much you young guys think in your little 25 years, I still got 20 years life experience that trumps you, which means I've almost been your age twice.
Exactly.
So don't think that older folks are dumb. I would like to thank you once again, OG Rick, for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Sharing some of your thoughts with me and the fine folks who are in the chat, and the folks who will catch the playback. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope that you guys learned something while you were here. I appreciate all you for coming. Make sure that you go follow me on both of my Instagram pages, The Incredible T.O.P and the Top Cast Instagram page. Catch the Top Cast on Anchor, Season 1 and Season 2. You can follow me on TikTok also. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so now. Bring a friend. Like, comment, and share the material. Don't forget to check out my OG for more gems from an older person. You can catch him on Instagram. And I'm trying to convince him to start a YouTube channel so you could get more of this OG-ism.
Thank you, brother.
Salute to all you guys.
Salute to you guys in the chat. Thank you for coming, Lou Piazza, EC, Christian, all you guys. I see you there, man. Thank you for showing up. Anybody I missed, thanks for showing up. Always check out my man Top. He's always got good stuff for you. You're always gonna learn. Always gonna learn. Stay positive and always go forward.
Yes, indeed, fellas. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Got another show coming with my man Tone You a Fool and the young homie Ro from Instagram, the Kings of Comedy. You know what I'm saying? My version. Don't forget to check us out. That's Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to take you out with one of my homies in real life. We're going to hit you with some more fire music. Again, thank you, OG Rick, for coming. I appreciate all you guys for coming. Salute to y'all. I'll see you tomorrow.
Salute.
And, we out of here.
Sunny day on a bluffing and so good. Take a look, you can see what I mean. Ride around showing love to the whole hood. Who you know can do it like me? I'm just playing the game, but you know every day ain't the same. So I'ma ride for the city, I die for the city, straight from the city.
Yeah, waking up in the morning, weekend weather, fly birds outside yawning. Last night was on and popping, get the on to the next one. I pause for a second, I'm focused. Back got the flow tip, back got the potion. Earth, wind, and fire, moms, pops at it program, but it don't get no better. Stack cheddar on the regular, NY down to NC, playing that bigger dog. Despite the niggas right, I is back on my grind. A fist full of dollars, I'm on fire. Flow like rivers now, tigers with stripes like a tiger. Speech for my kinfolk admire. People that get dough, I'm all about the checks, Nikes. Dreaming about who next up, broken in that. I cruise through the city, passing extras, director yelling action. Fly mommies popping bottles, shots full of army. I took a glance at a fly lady. I cruise like a hustler to the paper, it's only nature. Shorty got some nice racks on racks, and a smooth money maker, yeah. Got me feeling like Nas in my book of rhymes. You play in the orchestra, bet that you can feel these lines. With my mind reminiscing, JGI spitting subliminal lines, painting pictures of moments in time. Reminiscing, summarizing the 20th song. And got a vision of a rebel standing next to God. Yo, that's a vision of a devil falling from the sky. And why? Nigga, check my level when I'm on the grind. Ahead of my time, know I'm kinda like fighting for my life in the dark, and ain't no sign of light. Evolution in your life, choosing wrong and right. In 21 now, niggas still be trying to sound alike, trying to do it big and live this style of life. Style sincere, like not said, but all I need's one mic. Look into the eyes of a little nigga on the grind. Sparks like my rim tire when I pull up on the block. I try to tell you it's the sus, nigga. You say you do enjoy yourself, and that's what's up, nigga. I try to hit you to the plan, let you know that I'm the man. Got my city with me everywhere we go. Got the fam, 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 got the fam.
Sunny day on the mountain and so good. Take a look, you can see what I mean. Ride around showing love to the whole hood. Who you know can do it like me? I'm just playing the game, but you know every day ain't the same. So I'ma ride for the city, I die for the city, straight from the city. Straight from the city.